Hey guys, welcome to another video. This is me, Philippe, coming to you with another video, and today we're going to talk about is episode 9 the end of the Skywalker story? First of all, most likely no. If you mean general, most likely no. Because there are comic books and video games and any potential TV series that could practically center around the Skywalkers. In a sense, you can say the Clone Wars was centered around Anakin's struggle between the light and the dark, but that was only one aspect of the Clone Wars. So you can debatedly argue that the Clone Wars was in a way centered around Anakin Skywalker. The Rebels you can't really. Resistance you can't really. I'm gonna move on to my other point before I confuse myself. So if you're talking about overall, no, I don't believe it's gonna end the Skywalker story. Now, if you mean in terms of movies, there's a decent amount of chance it could, at least for now, anyways. Cause I saw Star Wars theories, being like the biggest Star Wars YouTube channel on YouTube, obviously, hence YouTube channel in the name, where he said that he saw something from Oscar Isaac saying that yes, episode 9 will be concluding the Skywalker story. I briefly commented, I forgot what the person who replied to me said, but I was saying, yeah, up until, episode 9 will conclude the Skywalker's story, until Disney decides to pick it back up again. Some person said, yeah, or I forget something else, but practically me and this guy was on the same page. We both agreed that there'd be at some point where Disney's going to say, for whatever reason, hey, we're going to make a continuation of the Skywalker story. Now, I don't know what episode 9 will end off at. Hopefully, Rise of Skywalker. So we do have that door open to continuing the Skywalker story, even if it's not on the big screen. But I don't believe that, overall, that the Skywalker story is going to end at episode 9. I think it's going to continue. Regardless if it's going to be in a book series, video game series, or another trilogy that centers around the Skywalkers, or has another trilogy that has a Skywalker guest star, or make a cameo, or whatever, some sorts. I don't believe Star Wars Episode 9 will be the last story of the Skywalkers. I mean, if I'm wrong, then I'm wrong. I mean, if I'm wrong, then I'm going to be man enough to say, hey, I'm wrong. But up until the day I am 100% certain that the Skywalker story is and / has ended after episode 9, I will personally stick to what I'm saying right now. Regardless if the Skywalker story is finished on, like, the big screen, the Skywalker story could potentially still continue after the events of episode 9. Because first off, we don't know yet if Mara Jade is in this canon. We don't know if Mara Jade is in canon, like, in current canon. And two, if Mara Jade is in canon, because if you guys don't know, in Legends, Mary Jade and Luke Skywalker got married, had a son named Ben. This was before Disney bought Lucasfilms, resetting the whole Star Wars timeline. But we don't know, at least not yet. And assuming that this question doesn't even get answered in Episode 9, we don't know if Luke ever got married in between the events of Return of the Jedi and The Force Awakens. We never knew if he ever had any kids in between then. I mean, yeah, that would raise a lot of questions, like where the hell has his wife and child been during, like, the approximately 15 years between the events of the fall of the new Jedi Order getting destroyed by Kylo Ren. Like, assuming that Mara Jade died, where the hell has been Luke's and Mara's son all this time? I mean, and the story could center around him. It could be an animated movie, having some woman sounding like Carrie Fisher to do Leia's role. They could have Harrison Ford and Adam Driver, Daisy Ridley, Anthony Daniels, Mark Hamill to reprise their roles in the Star Wars universe. Even Billy D. Williams, I'm happy they will get in Episode 9. If they decide to go the anime route. If they decide to center it around Luke's potential son or daughter. Because I know they like to censor... I know Lucasfilms likes to center their main characters. I mean, I know that Lucasfilms is trying to go for female power, mostly Kathleen Kennedy, so I wouldn't be surprised if they had Luke and whoever Luke marries have a daughter. Point is, I seriously doubt that Episode 9 will be the last of the Skywalker story in terms of moving forward. I mean, you can debatably say, but they can move forward in the Skywalker story between the events of The Force Awakens and Return of the Jedi, and in a sense you're right. But at the same time, in a sense, you're wrong, because that's going back in the timeline, not exactly forward. And my whole thing with the whole basing it around Luke's potential child, you could say that that's in a sense moving back in the timeline, but it depends on how they do it. It really depends on how they do it. Because they could be having Luke's child explain to, like, the new Jedi younglings the stories about how when he was a kid, having it be like, going back, but at the same time slightly moving forward, because we could see Luke's son in the present telling the younglings stories about what happened before the events of The Force Awakens, and possibly having Luke's son or daughter having a child or children of their own. Hence, moving the Skywalker story along, where it will create the window of opportunity to bring the Skywalker, make another sequel trilogy following the events of the sequel trilogy revolving around the Skywalkers. Like I said, I don't know how Episode 9 will play out. Hopefully it will be better than The Last Jedi. Because as a sequel, especially between the prequels. I mean, if you take, especially compared to like Attack of the Clones and Empire Strikes Back, was an okay sequel, and that's coming from a guy who isn't really a big fan of Attack of the Clones. But I still have so much more respect for George Lucas on how he took the criticism of the prequels. Was this a video for another time? So yeah, again, do I believe Episode 9 will be the last of the Skywalker stories? I don't know. Do I believe the Skywalker story will end in terms of moving forward after the events of Episode 9? No. Even if I see it, I doubt it. I mean, unless they verbally say, hey, Luke never had any offsprings. If they literally say, oh yeah, unfortunately Luke never had any offsprings, I'll still stick with my answer. So the Skywalker story could potentially still move forward after Episode 9. Video games, video games, books, television series. And I really mean it. If it was a good setup if they ever wanted to bring the Skywalker story back for another trilogy. There we go. But long story short, at least at the moment, after Episode 9 comes out, at the moment, in terms of the big screen, no. But will there ever be and will there ever be another trilogy that continues the Skywalker story after the events of this new trilogy? Seeing how it's Disney is high. It's high. It's really high. Especially for money. Especially seeing how Disney is literally rebooting every single one of their classics into live action. Like with the Jungle Book was actually worked. Beauty and the Beast was actually worked. Cinderella was never seen. The Alice in the Wonderland movies was supposed to be sequels, but I didn't really like. Dumbo, Lion King was I'm mad about. Aladdin, and a few other Disney movies I'm not going to name. So, seeing how Disney is practically rebooting every single one of their classics into live actions, and since Disney owns Lucasfilms, I want to be just surprised if they say, hey, yeah, remember when we said Episode 9 was going to be the last time we tell the Skywalker story? Yep. We changed our mind. Here we go. It's another trilogy or movie basing it off around Skywalker or Skywalkers. Who knows? Anyways, I'll see you guys later. What do you guys think about? Let me I'm already this weird. If you let me know in the comment section below whether or not you guys believe Episode 9 will be the last time we see the Skywalker story being told in terms of like moving forward. And are you guys going to see Episode 9? Me, most likely, even though I can't really stand the people at Lucasfilms right now, but Star Wars is my one kryptonite. Most likely going to see Episode 9 in theaters. Anyways, are you guys going to see Star Wars Episode 9 in theaters? And what do you guys think about the whole, Star Wars Episode 9 is going to be the last time we see the Skywalker story? Sorry. Episode 9 is going to be the one Star Wars movie that's going to conclude the Skywalker story. Leave a comment below, and may the Force be with us. Oh.